Welcome to the Painter's Business Podcast with Stephanie Stover. Let's roll. This is the Painter's Business Podcast, the show for growth-minded painting company owners who want to scale, profit, and dominate their markets. I'm your host, Stephanie Stover, and every week we bring you zero-fluff strategies, proven tactics, and behind-the-scenes insights from real business owners and experts who are getting it done in the field. And here's the deal. Every single episode gives you at least one practical, no BS action that you can take today to grow your business. Whether you want more residential leads, safer crews, or bigger commercial contracts, this is where painters come to grow. Let's roll. Today I'm joined by Patrick Dew, owner of Fresh Coat Painters of Beaumont. Patrick, tell me, what made you decide to invest in Fresh Coat?
Before this, I was in lean manufacturing, so I was in charge of making production more affordable. And so I had a way of communicating with line workers and then relaying information to C-suite people, and changing the way that maybe changing the phrasing so that everyone's a winner. But luckily, the corporate America was nice enough to lay me off 6 weeks after my fourth child was born,
Oh
and
no.
so we went down this path of looking at other jobs, and they were going to take us out of the area. And I didn't really want to leave, and I randomly got contacted by a gentleman named Andrew Ritterling from Entrepreneur Source, and he specializes in aligning entrepreneur type people with franchise ownership. So it's not so much passion about painting, but I am passionate about helping people. And the options I had were painting, a pool company, or like a window treatment.
Mhm.
And painting seemed to be the way to be able to scale the business faster, because I would have I wouldn't be the owner operator. I'd just be the owner, and I'd be hiring people to do the labor. So that made more sense to grow the business faster, because the doing this is the overall goal is to free up time so that I'm spending more time with the family. You have
Yeah.
something to hand off to the kids, in 10 to 20 years, if they want this. But I mean, I was a Boy Scout. I got my Eagle Scout in '97. I'm always helping the old lady the older lady at the grocery store if she can't reach something on the top shelf. It's just being helpful. So the service industry is really full of some selfish people, and so if you just kind of take a servant mentality, like, yeah, I'm going to get paid, but I'm gonna make sure that the people have an experience. So
Mhm.
that was my focus. So regardless of what business I took, and so choosing Fresh Coat really came down to the amount of support that they offer, and the education and the continued support and continued education that they offer in the community of the other owners, because there's 177 franchises in North
Wow.
America of Fresh Coat. So there's a lot of people out there doing stuff that have run into the same problem or have better pictures than I do for an upcoming campaign. And so it's really nice to, and that was really the determining factor of the painting. Now,
Mhm.
how I apply myself into my painting business, that was just something that I've always had, just wanting to help.
Okay. So today we're talking about how smart painting contractors escape the race to the bottom and win premium jobs. So let's start with the big picture. What exactly is the race to the bottom?
I would assume the race to the bottom is not paying attention to the mile markers or the indicators that are happening that show that you need to pivot. Going at this with your blinders on, assuming everyone will just hire you because you're there at their home providing an estimate. So not being able to pivot or roll with the punches. I tell every customer, I'm like, I'll be your willow tree. I will not be an oak. And so I try to be as flexible as possible, and you have to do that. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind, and you'll get to the
Mm,
bottom, I guess.
yep. So from your experience, what mindset shifts are essential for contractors who want to move away from competing solely on price?
So it's about your presentation. You have to create an experience for the customer that when you're walking into their home, you look like a professional. I've owned this business now for just over a year and a half, but people think I've been doing this forever because of the way I present my materials. I have a leave behind folder. I'm very well versed in all the materials that I utilize. I use a lot of Sherwin-Williams, but I use PPG and Benjamin Moore as well. But knowing the products, that way you can explain the process and you're giving clear explanation. And then I'm able to present in the home because I can produce my proposal in about 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the
Hmm.
scope of the project. So it's the mindset should be quick, 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 always deliver in the home. And then, never make them wait. If you're letting them wait and waiting for them to make the decision and not reaching out to them, then somebody else like me is taking your market share.
So what do you leave in your leave behind folder?
I have process steps, a little background of the scope of our work, business cards, trifolders that have like some pictures of projects, and then a customer referral program. So if
Mm,
someone refers me to another person and then I do work for them, then I send that customer a $50 gift card. That seems to
nice.
be exciting. I used to have it's when you're busy, you don't have time to replenish things. But it's ideal if you have a printer in your truck or in your van, and you're able
Mm,
to print out the proposal and put that in there too, because that really just kind of like boom, it's right there in front of them. There's no waiting, because that's a lot of what I hear. Negativity
mm,
about the current state is that there's a lot of waiting. People are
mhm.
waiting for proposals, waiting for jobs to be done, waiting for contractors to show up. It's yeah, if you're just diligent and you're hungry, I mean, you're already 50% there.
Yep. So do you also send them a digital copy of
I
their
do.
estimates and all of that?
Yeah, so I'll present on my tablet and then I will email the proposal to them right after confirming their email address and so then they have it. And if they in that it's a digital proposal, so if they want to add something or subtract something from the project, they can click a button and it changes and the price updates automatically. And it's really cool. Change orders come in via email the same way,
Hmm.
because those are important when. Sorry, I have an alarm going off somewhere. Hold on one
Oh
second.
no. Yeah, no problem.
But yeah, a digital version, and that way. So I mean, but it's really important to document. So
Yep.
change orders are really important too, because uh, if a customer says something and it's slightly off scope, you got to protect yourself and protect them as well, so that they don't back themselves into a corner. But
Right.
it's really making sure that what you're fixing and what's new is separate from the original, and
Hmm.
that's sometimes hard to understand.
Hmm. So what percentage of your clients book with you right on the spot in the house versus calling you back and booking on the follow-up?
Year to date, I'm probably at a close rate of around 45%.
Hmm.
Last month was about 70% close rate, and I would say half of those were in the home. I mean, but I mean, a lot of people need extra touches. They need to look at somebody else's presentation. They need, they always say you need 8 to 12 touches before you can close most clients. So it's the, but I would say if I can present it home with both decision makers, I'm closing probably 50% of those
Hmm.
in the home that I've
Mhm.
closed. 50% of the 45%.
That's
Yeah.
a pretty good sales rate.
Yeah, because I mean, I just talk with them. I don't try to sell them. I'm not trying to hammer them down. I explain the different types of products that are offered based on their needs. So I ask, do you have a need for something that you can scrub really well? Do you want something
Hmm.
that's just soft and elegant? And so when you're having a conversation with people and you're not just like, hurry up and go, let me get to the next one, and you're connecting with them, then you build that rapport quickly. And I think I'm
Hmm.
pretty good at that. I keep bumping my desk. I'm sorry.
No problem. So, are there specific marketing channels or strategies that work particularly well for reaching higher paying clients in the painting industry?
So I utilize a company called Painter Marketing Pros, and
Hmm.
they do all my marketing. I've tried other aspects, Angie's List, Nextdoor, things like that. They don't really seem to bring the quality. So I focus on pretty much Meta and local service ads. And local service ads has a much higher close rate because people
Hmm.
are searching for it, but it's also got a higher dollar amount. So it's not there. People aren't shopping around, but um, through my group, Painter Marketing Pros, I can kind of tell them like focus on this zip code. I know all my zip codes. I know
Yeah.
the home range. And doing it now for almost 2 years, you know where the money is, and so
Hmm.
I tell them to focus efforts on those areas, and it does pretty good. But most of my commercial work has come through local service ads.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's surprising. So you do commercial and residential. Do you also do like any industrial or
No industrial
um,
yet.
new
The
construction, anything like that?
I don't do new construction because that's always a race to the lowest
Yeah.
cost, and I'm not the lowest cost, and I never will be. And I tell the people that in the presentation, but you get an experience, and so
Hmm.
most new constructions don't care about the experience. They just want people who can come, spray, and go, and move on to the next project. But I do have customers who have expanded on their home, and we, do the tape and floating and the painting, and we can hang sheetrock. It all just depends on the skill set of the people working with me. Um,
Hmm.
what I'll do. I'd love to get into roofing. Roofing would be amazing. Roof
Really?
coating would be. It's a huge market in this area. It rains all the time. There's so many flat roof surfaces, but I just don't have the people to do that skill.
Hmm.
I mean, cabinetry. I have a really good cabinet painter, and so I have lots of cabinet jobs. I say last year I ran an ad for a door, and that generated so much business for me because nobody does doors here because they're so low dollar.
Yes.
You're doing a
Yeah.
door for $800 to $1,500, and
Sorry,
people.
do you mean cabinet doors or just like a
No,
regular front
like a
door?
front door. Yeah, like a front door.
Yep.
So if and so nobody was doing that. So that generated a lot of business for
Hmm.
me. A lot of good reviews as well from that. And so then that really uh, you know boosts that trust build with the potential customer.
Hmm.
Seeing what people have experienced, seeing that there's a common theme in the experience, but just being willing to take smaller paying jobs, knowing that a $1,200 job, well, if you stack three of those in a week, well, then that's that magic number of 3,600 that you want per project.
Hmm. And
But yeah,
then which, oh, sorry, go ahead.
sorry. No, I was done.
Oh, I was going to say, and I suspect with that you would also get upsells and cross sells and those referrals, like you mentioned.
Yeah, so you do good work the first time, and it's a good experience, even if there's a problem with the work, but it's still a good experience with the customer that you fix it and fix it quickly, and it's
Yeah.
correct. That usually, I mean, I've got I don't know the number, but I've got a lot of repeat customers, and it always starts off with something small because they've been burned in the past by people.
Hmm.
I recommend not taking any money down. That builds a lot of confidence in you because
Hmm.
you're not worried about the customer. If you're doing a big job, then yeah, that makes sense to get a little bit down because you got to pay your people. But just doing things different than what the normal do. What's real important if you want to start your business in your area, this was one of the biggest, most valuable things I did was I brought other painters in the area to my home to present to me. I wanted to see what they did do
Oh,
and what they didn't do. So that way, when I created the template for my business, it filled all those gaps that they didn't have.
clever.
Insurance, hell, I even do lead paint testing, all kinds of stuff that
Wow.
nobody else does. That you have, because in Texas you're not supposed to have, or you're not required to have workers comp, but I have workers
Hmm.
comp, and both insurances are in my presentation, and so that was very valuable because a lot of people took 3 to 4 days to get me a quote if they even gave me a quote. The way they presented in the home, it wasn't like they were a guest in my home. They were kind of walking through my house, like, well, and not asking questions. You should ask a lot of questions of the customer
Yes.
because then you really get an understanding of what they truly want. Because it can be difficult, especially when they don't know what they want and you're ready to start, and they think they're ready to start. It can be challenging. A lot of
Yeah.
rework can happen.
Often people think they know what they want, but they don't. But you have to ask some really deep questions in order to get to the thing that they don't know what it is they want.
Yeah, yeah. And never assume that they've made a decision. Always follow up and get the final decision in a
Yeah,
text or in an email or over the phone. Just get the answer. Don't assume that. Oh yes, we spoke about tricorn black, but maybe they want a different black.
right. Yeah. So if a contractor is listening right now and they feel stuck in that low bid grind, what's the very first step that you would recommend that they take to change direction?
Stuck in that low bid grind. Change the way you present yourself. Wear a button, wear a polo shirt, wear clean jeans, change your appearance, change your own mindset of what you are. You're not just a chuck in a truck. You're a painting contractor and you own your own business. And so when you're a business owner, you're walking into someone's home as the decision maker. When you're just an operator, you're waiting for them to tell you what to do. And so it's all about how it's like you said earlier, mindset, and that was great because that's what it is. You're
Hmm.
going to get two people that tell you no, but if you have a 40% close rate, I'm not worried about those two people because I got four more people in the next eight that I'm going to close.
Yeah.
So it's who cares if somebody doesn't like your price? I don't care. When I get enough of that, then that's enough noise that helps me identify that I need to be more flexible.
Hmm.
But one-offs, people do knee-jerk reactions. That's why I think it's very important that you have someone else do your marketing. Because if you try to do your own marketing, you'll overthink it. Unless
Yeah.
you are very versed at that and understand that process. But it takes time. You have to be patient. You have to let campaigns go for like 6 months, even when you're not
Hmm.
getting any action. You're still the algorithm is learning, and I don't have that patience. So that's another reason why I gave that to someone else so that they can take care of that.
Hmm.
But if you're worried about cost, and you want to charge more, then if you present yourself in a better fashion where you look more professional, I mean, business cards are great, but something to leave behind, a magnet on a business card. Sometimes I do guerrilla marketing where I'm walking through a house and I'll just leave the magnet on the refrigerator without telling them. I'll just, put it there and keep going. And so, you got to be in their mind. You got to call them. You got to engage the customer. Why should they pick you? You have to look at it as they are doing you a favor. You're not doing them a favor.
Hmm.
And that's how I do it.
I like that. That's good. Any last piece of advice or message that you want to leave listeners with?
Be hungry. Never turn anything down. Um, Even if it's a really, really small paying job, you never know who that person knows. And so you should always be networking,
Hmm.
always be accepting everything. Unless you're going to take a loss, don't take a loss.
Yeah.
But you should absolutely accept every job because this business ebbs and flows, and it would much rather stack nickels than wait to stack hundreds, and you're sitting there waiting for those hundreds because
Mm.
they'll come, but it's not every month. It's definitely not a linear growth for revenue. You have to hustle, and I have markers for like a number of appointments a week, a number of scheduled projects. And so if it starts to get close to those, the bottom of those guardrails, then I get on the phone and
Mm.
re-engage and call people, and, just don't be afraid. You just got to constantly be working
Yeah.
and figure out ways to appear, at least appear, if you can't be authentic, but at least appear trustworthy. Because that's what people want. They want to trust someone's going to come in their home and
Of
do a good
course.
job. And
Yeah.
if you're, man, I tell you what, in this area, it's this certain area of Texas. There is a certain stereotype with painters, similar to um, the subject matter of Breaking Bad.
Mm.
And so when you're not that at all and you present yourself very professional, I mean, I got a wrap on my truck. Nobody has wraps around here. They got like stickers or
Yep.
magnets that they put on their thing.
Awesome. Where can people follow you or get in touch?
I've got. Ooh, I don't have my Facebook page. But I mean, Fresh Coat Painters of Beaumont. You can find me on Facebook. That's probably the way I speak to people most. The
Hmm.
website has a contact information on it, but that's a super long website because it's tied into other
Yeah.
177 other ones. But I'm on Facebook a lot. Uh, I'm also. I mean, you could find Patrick Dew, Fresh Coat Painters of Beaumont on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active there. I love interacting with people, seeing successes. I'm always referring people to that entrepreneur source because
Hmm.
I tell you, it sucked working for somebody else determining how much value I have. And now I determine that value. And if I really, put the effort in, then I can exponentially grow my income. And that's the
Yeah.
idea, because then that produces freedom and that produces choices and opportunities, and that's the whole reason why anyone should open a business. And there's so many tax breaks. There are so many tax advantages you could take if you get a good CPA. That's extremely important. Get a good
Yep.
CPA. Don't skimp on that. And yeah, there's so many things. I mean, I could talk to you for hours about the value of collaborating with other businesses and letting them take some of the hats away from you, even if it's $300 a month. If your value is $60 an hour, I mean, that's
Hmm.
5 hours of your time you just freed up to I mean, that's all that it takes. And so you can then market more. You can go to
Yeah.
networking functions. You can go meet other people. If you get other people marketing for you, partner with other groups for a referral opportunity.
Hmm.
Just get your name out there, and definitely smile and be nice, and let the people go when you're driving, and don't cut them off, especially when you have a marker on your truck. So I have to be a very nice driver. So I do my very best.
Yes, yes. So what would you say is, as the owner, is the number one most high value thing that you can do as the business owner to help grow your business?
Marketing yourself. You have
Hmm.
your online marketing that runs all the time, but even when you're in someone's home, you're asking them if they need other services, and then you're talking with other, like, roofers or plumbers or electricians. You get a good core of people together, and so they're marketing for you. And so always be marketing, 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 marketing. You got to get your name out there, because it's going to take a couple of passes by people's vision sometimes
Yeah.
before it, like, makes sense to them. Um, but marketing, and that comes with, like, making yard signs, making door
Yep.
hangers,
Yep.
wearing shirts, um, sending a snail mail, anything. I don't do the snail mail because I haven't found I don't see the value in it, because I hate mail, and I assume that
Yeah.
everyone else hates mail. So I don't do that one. But a lot of owners do it, and they say it helps, and then they get some business from it. So, um, but also know your data. Like, you have to know what you're spending and where it's going, and you got to know what your run rate, your burn rate is. Like, what am I spending every month, and what do I have to make, and then what's my break even plus, like
Mm-hmm.
so that you can actually grow and then hire people so that you're now 10 appointments a week become 16 appointments a week, and they're doing 10 and I'm doing 6, but I'm going to networking functions. And so, yeah, marketing and analytics for sure.
Awesome.
That's two things.
No, that's great. Love it. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. You can find Patrick at Freshcoat Painters of Beaumont on Facebook. Catch you on the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. This is the Painters Business Podcast with Stephanie Stover.